Hi guys, welcome to this new demonstration where I will be showing you how to design a steering wheel. Usually I start from the front view and I explore the different opportunities that I have in terms of form. Sometimes, most of the times, the steering wheel is basically a circle, but you can explore also rounded rectangles or forms that look a little bit more futuristic and sophisticated. I think it's important to communicate a good volume. So it's not just a rounded, basically a circular revolution, but most of the time it's a polygonal form that is revolved around a polygonal shape. Once I find something that I like, of course I add some grayscale, I build some volume, and then I pick the sketch that I like, and around that I try to build a perspective view of the same using construction lines and then playing with line weight in order to create something that really looks like it's coming out of the page. So I increase the line weight of some areas, and I also try to play around with section lines in order to communicate volume. It's a very good trick to make sketches looking great and exciting. I add the shadows and I fix a little bit of drawing with some cut lines, some other details, and section lines in order for me to better understand the form. At this time I'm ready to start adding some grayscale using the typical 1, 2 and 3 technique, where basically the number 1 is the part of the object receiving the biggest amount of light, and then the number 3 is that part that is facing the shadows. So basically I play with the grayscale, of course, with the use of white, and then you know, if I keep in mind where the light source is and I play around with this grayscale and the white carefully and properly, I should be able to achieve something that really looks very three-dimensional. Once I'm done with the design of my object, I build basically the shape of my shadows, and I'm ready to fill it with black, keeping it very dark under the center of the page where I want the focal point to be, and then adding other shadows on the outside of the sketch. And as you can see, I'm now ready to add some other details. It could be like colors or reflections, or maybe textures if I want to add to communicate you know, that in this case the dashboard is made of some very specific materials. And I'm basically ready to go. I put my signature and I'm done. Now I will jump into the next demonstration where I am basically showing you the basics of designing a rounded steering wheel. The first thing that I do is sketch an axis, then the typical 90-degree line to that axis that it will be used to position the ellipses properly with a correct angle. And then I will start building basically a main ellipse, do an offset of the same, and little by little I will complete the form that will look like basically a big fat ring that will receive in the center the steering column, which is basically a simple cylinder that usually ends with a little cone. At this stage I add a few details like section lines, maybe a little logo, and now I'm ready to connect the steering column to the ring. I now decide, as usual before doing the rendering, where the light source is coming from, and I'm ready to start my grayscale rendering. Basically, I darken those parts of the object that do not receive direct light, following the rule of the 1, 2 and 3. And now it's time to add a little bit of extra gradients. Basically, I'm getting ready to sketch my shadows. Light is coming from top right in this case, so the ring will cast a shadow on top of the steering column, and there will be other little shadows on the ring itself. I'm ready to complete the sketch with a casted shadow on the ground. I add the cut lines, some details, in this case they could be the stitches. I will add some color, pretending that the upper part of the steering wheel is made of a different material that has also a different color. So I'm applying the blue. And the sketch is ready to go.